This brand is labeled as the world's most advanced dress shoes. And they make boots too. How you going? Welcome back to Bootlosophy. My name is Tech and I'm in Perth in Western Australia. Nani gadij nija, wajak nunga buja. This boot is made by the brand Amberjack, which means, by the way, a large marine game fish from tropical and subtropical waters. Amberjack is a new footwear brand that I became aware of when I was trawling through the internet while watching NCIS Sydney with one eye. This particular boot caught my other eye for being different, and so I got it and delved into the brand. It's based out of New York City, Brooklyn I believe, and the founders used to work for big shoe brands like Cole Haan, Allen Edmonds and Adidas, and decided to branch out to make comfortable dress shoes using the latest technology. They designed their footwear themselves in New York and then, like several heritage brands these days, contract a factory in Portugal with the technology and expertise to make their shoes and boots. I've put a non-affiliate link to their website below so you can take a look at what else they make. Being a boot guy, I got interested in this pair that they call the Boot in olive nubuck. They also make a Chelsea boot and several styles of shoes. Now, this is an interesting style, I think. Clearly not a heritage boot and more in the fashion end of footwear. But there are crossover characteristics. It is a 6-inch high derby style boot rather than being a high top sneaker with a heritage style toe cap. The shape and design are dressy rather than rugged. And what tells it apart though is the outsole. It's similar to the outsoles used in Australian Chelsea work boots like Blundstones and Redbacks. It's made from polyurethane or PU and thermoplastic polyurethane, I believe, or TPU. Rather than being stitched to the uppers, they're fixed through a heat sealing system where the molten PU and TPU are actually molded onto the uppers. Now this makes it a very light boot and it's very comfortable, but obviously not particularly resolable. The addition of fashionable touches like this black panel of rubber and the extra panel around the shaft make it stand out, which I think worked because I picked it straight out as one that attracted my attention despite all the shooting going on in NCIS Sydney. Hey, before I go on, can I remind you to check out my channel, and if you like this video or any others you see on the channel, please leave a like. And don't forget, if you haven't already, sub so that you get more boot reviews and boot related videos, more usually in the heritage range. Alright, let's get on with the construction. The uppers are made from Nubuck, which is a corrected grain leather, unlike a suede. You see, a suede is a split leather, but Nubuck is a top grain leather that's sanded on the smooth surface to create a fuzzy nap. Obviously the most famous version is the Timberland Classic Wheat Nubuck boot. I don't know for sure, but I'm almost certain the Nubuck is sourced in Portugal. It is soft and comfortable and very supple, very soft in the hand. The panels of Nubuck making up the uppers is numerous. The vamp, the toe cap piece, not real, the quarters and the reinforcing pieces for the blind eyelets, the piece of Nubuck at the top of the shaft and a single piece backstay ending in a pull loop. Sewing it all together is probably a bit harder than the usual 3 or 4 pieces of leather. Having said that, the stitching is super precise, and my suspicion is there are less hands and more machines involved, not surprisingly for the price and from the experience of the founders in athletic and dress shoes. The addition of this piece of black rubber, I think, is a design triumph. I think it stands out and crosses athletic high top with a standard, perhaps some say boring derby boot. Inside the boot, it's fully lined with sheepskin. Not shearling, there's no wool. It is the skin of the sheep, very thin, very soft, and in this case, pricked with a lot of breathing holes by a laser. The top of the shaft is slightly padded for comfort, and the tongue has 2 pads to create a comfy wraparound feeling. The tongue's not gusseted, it's a fashion boot and not intended to waddle into mud and water, of course. Inside the boot is a thermally activated removable foam comfort insole, and under that is a layer of what feels like sponge glued onto the lasting board. I can't actually see the lasting board, and it might be leather, but I think it's either leatherboard or cardboard, which I'm assuming from the price. Look, it's not going to last you 20 years after 4 resoles and then get handed to your son. It's designed for looks and comfort, and if you accept that premise, it works. It's not for many of my viewers, but if, like me, sometimes you just want to get into a boot that's so comfortable, it's what I wanted, and it's what it gives me. The comfort, like Blundstones say, comes from the sole. As I said earlier, it's heat sealed, PU at first for softness, and then TPU for durability as a shell. Again, the founder's experiences with athletic shoes and those Cole Haan soft-soled dress shoes with sneaker outsoles, do you remember them? They come to the fore. The design of the sole molding is also different, with a kind of grippy pattern and this recessed heel for extra shock absorption. I'm not sure if it has a shank, I doubt it frankly, but I don't think it really needs one because it's more or less of a wedge sole and the materials give it enough arch support, literally like a good sports sneaker. As for sizing, fit and comfort, the last they use is a sleek European style last, and by that I mean a reasonably nipped in almond toe rather than the broad rounder American heritage type lasts. It suits the design and intention, I think. If you take the right size, take my word for it, there is no squeezing of the toes, and the almond toe seems to have been very well designed to avoid that. Now, sizing is supposedly true to size, but this is an 8 medium, while my true size is US 8.5 in D or medium average. But this is my right size for sure, so in my opinion, unless you have wide feet, I would order a half size down from your Brannock size, or roughly what you wear in Thursdays and Iron Rangers, for example. Now that's my feet, I emphasize. There is no squeeze at the toes or the ball, so this last, in this half size down for me, fits me really well. And is it comfortable? Oh yes it is. The soft and supple Nubuck, the super soft sheepskin, they just wrap around your feet snugly without any hot spots. The shock absorption is 100% effective and feel just like Blunnies. I really could wear these all day, except that they are hot. I usually wear boots throughout all weathers, as you know, even in the deep north of Australia where it's tropical or desert with temperatures above 40 Celsius or 100 in the old scale. I almost never get hot feet. This pair, however, in the heat that we've been getting in this supposedly autumn period, felt kind of hot and sweaty. I'm really not sure why. I have many pairs of fully lined boots without the problem. And I wonder if there's an effect from using the sheepskin as a lining. Perhaps the sheepskin has more heat retention properties or insulation, I'm not sure. As comfy as I find these, I'm going to have to restrict them to winter or colder weather wear. Well, there you are. I found myself really attracted to these, and I'm glad I got them at around the $300 mark. For what they are, well-made boots, even though not my usual heritage style, they are stylish and dressy with a quirk. They're comfy like athletic sneakers. They seem to be worth the money. If you like Cole Haan, you'll like these. I hope you liked the review. You know what to do if you did. Click on like and come back next week for more heritage style boot and boot related gear reviews. And subscribe so you don't miss anything. Until then, take care out there, and I'll see you again soon.